So first, what is your name?
My name's Mark Oliver.
Okay. What year did you graduate?
95 was my graduation year.
Can you think of some major historical moments or any moments in your
I can't really think of any historical things that happened that stand out that year. I can't think of any really.
All right, that's okay. What was the school atmosphere like when you were here?
It was fun. I mean, a lot of good people, a lot of fun people. So probably similar to how it is now. Teenage years. So.
So what did you most enjoy about being here, your high school career?
I think the friends and like every other kid, I guess the friends and the social aspect of it. The social aspect was a little different though. No phones. We had pagers. Everybody wore beepers. They called them beepers back then, but no phones like you guys have now. So the social media wasn't there like it is now.
So the rivalry between North and East, what was that like?
It's about like it is now. It was pretty intense even back then. With the games, football and basketball. So.
So, were there any other schools that it was like kind of rivalry?
I think the only one that really stands out to me was East. Was the big rivalry game. So.
What was your favorite class and why?
I liked science a lot. That was my favorite class probably.
And why?
I just like the nature part of just plants and animals, things like that. It was a little different back then. We would dissect things, and I don't know if they do as much of that today as they did back then. But.
Yeah. Does that relate to what you do right now?
What's that?
Like, just.
No, I'm a landscaper, so that's I think another reason why I liked science, and that part of the growth and things like that. So.
Who was your favorite teacher and why?
My favorite teacher was Mr. Paffenberger. I've kind of got a history with Mr. Paffenberger. I actually knew him before he came to North. I was in a school. When I was here at North, I was not a good kid. I had a lot of, issues. So when before he went to North, I was at a school called Joy Howe, and he was a teacher there. So when I transitioned into high school from that school, he helped me make that transition. So he's by far my favorite teacher here, and he's just a great person too, because he, even as I grew older, I went back and got my GED. He came to that, the graduation for my GED. When I got married, he came to my wedding. So he's always kind of been, a part of my life even now. So, yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, great teacher.
What were your favorite restaurants when you were in high school? And also, could you go off campus?
Yes, actually, when I was in high school, we could go off campus, and the middle schools went off campus. North Side and Central went off campus. Yeah, so it was a lot different. I don't know if it was just I don't know if it was 7th and 8th grade or just 8th grade, but one of those classes was able to go off campus. So everybody, all the freshmen, sophomore, junior, and senior all went off campus. So a lot different than it is today. Yeah.
So where did you go?
We would go to Taco Bell a lot, and sometimes we would go over to the Tasty Chinese over here. So not as near. Well, there was a place we went to a lot in the mornings too, where Subway is now. It's called Olympia. So a lot different. So.
Did Taco Bell, this is off topic, did Taco Bell have a bad reputation? Because it has a really bad one today.
Yes, when we were in school, there was a lot more smoking. People would go over there to smoke. They'd let them smoke on the property, and so that's, I think, where everybody hung out because of a lot of fights. There's a little fence behind Taco Bell there. People would go back there and fight, and so it kind of had a little bad reputation to it then too. But in fact, when I was in school, we had a place right where Subway is, right on the little corner there. They call it Cancer Corner because everybody went there and smoked. So yeah, and teachers would walk by, nobody say nothing to us. So yeah, it was a lot different. Yeah.
So what was like the hip place to meet up?
I think the hip place on, Friday nights and stuff, they had a place over by East, the bowling alley there. They call it Rock and Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And they would have a DJ in there and a little dance floor, and people met up there and hung out. Some of them bowled, some of them danced, some of them just hung out with their friends. So that was a pretty hip place. They actually even had a place they started because, just to create a hangout. They called it Catch 21, and it was like a under 21 just hangout place. And it was kind of crazy. I look back at it now, it's kind of ridiculous because they almost set it up like a bar setting, but it was all non-alcoholic drinks. So it was like these kids were getting that same experience, and it didn't work out good. It didn't last long either. There's a lot of fights, and so it didn't last very long. It probably lasted about a year. So, and they had to close it down. Just too many fights, too much, drugs, and it was a bad atmosphere. So, yeah.
So you said you didn't know who the principal was, right?
I couldn't remember who the principal was.
Did you have to do senior projects?
I didn't do the senior project. Again, like I said, I messed up early on. When I came to high school, I came out of that we call it a troublemaking school. It was where all the troublemakers went, Joy Howe. So when I transitioned over here, I played too much. I thought it was cool. I'm in high school now and all this, and I really got behind on credits, so it hurt me pretty bad. So my senior year, I was spending more time trying to make up credits, to graduate. But so I didn't do the senior project.
So do you remember what the yearbook looked like when you were in high school?
I don't. I really don't. I've got one somewhere, but I don't remember a lot of what's in it, and I can't remember if some of the pictures were black and white or if they were in color. I think they were in color. I mean, I'm not that old. They were a little cheaper made though than what they are now.
So how many people were in the school total then?
There was around, I think, 2,300. I think it sounds about right.
What were like the hot styles and what do people wear? What do people?
Oh man, tight rolled jeans. I remember the tight rolled jeans. Everybody tight rolled the bottoms of their jeans. That was a big thing. Trying to think. And then you had the group that wore the hats sideways, all the basketball hats and jerseys, so. But the big thing was tight rolled jeans. Another one was the bib overalls. They had them, and they would let one end hang down. That was a big style back then. So, yeah.
So if you could pin one down, what would be like the defining moment of your high school career?
The defining moment?
I guess something that stuck out the most to you or changed.
Oh man, I've not thought about this question. Defining moment. I'm not too sure what you're asking. Something that happened in the school, or?
I guess I'll ask it a different way. So what in your opinion, what made North unique, or what do you think it's different?
I think one of the things that made North unique there, and it's still the same, is the teachers and how much they cared for the students, and it says a lot. Like when I was in high school, Mr. Paffenberger was here. He's still here today. Mrs. Paffenberger was here. She's still here today. Mr. Myhay was here. He's still here today, and these were, when I was in high school, these were teachers that cared about me. They cared about my well-being, and they're still here today. And I still hear stories from them. I think that's probably one of the most defining moments, is just how much the teachers cared about the students, And even today, how some of the coaches, how much they care about some of the teams and the future of their students, So I think that's what stuck out the most to me back then, and still does today, about North. So it's a great school.
So were you in any sports or clubs or anything like that?
I was not. I loved art class, and that was kind of one of the places where I thrived was in art, things like that. But I really wasn't in any sports or any special classes, any extracurriculum or anything like that.
Do you want to add anything else?
I would just say, today I'm very successful today, and I think it's because of, again, teachers that cared about me. One of them, Mr. Paffenberger, he really cared about me and my future, and he looked past some of my faults and seen potential. I mean, and I think them are some of the things that has made me successful today. I mean, I'm a business owner today, so an entrepreneur. So again, that is because of people believing in me, and North High School made that happen. So I'm excited about that, and I would say to some of the students, don't go down the same road I went. It took me a long time to get to where I'm at today because I struggled so much in school because I wanted to play instead of work, So I would just tell some of the students, man, go after your dreams. This is a place you can get them. This is a place that you have all of the things that you can access them right here to accomplish your dreams. So you got the teachers, you got the education, you've got the whatever it is you want to do. I mean, you can obtain it by starting right here, but you got to start now, So North's a great school, and a lot of successful people's come out of this school. So I think it's great.
All right, well, I think